Hello, my friend. Welcome to another worst rated products video. This time we are going over to Ulta's website and we are buying all of the bad things. Last time I did this, I did it with Sephora's worst rated products and y'all absolutely loved it. And I was excited because I absolutely loved making that video and now I got to do it again. So what I did was I went over to Ulta's website and I sorted it by the best rated and then I went to the very last page. It was much easier than with Sephora's website where I literally had to scroll all the way down, but I found them. I found the worst rated products and then I bought them so you don't have to. So hang tight. I'm about to tell you all about the worst rated products at Ulta right about now. Let's go ahead and jump right in with the face primer that I purchased. This is from Makeup Revolution. This is their Blur Stick Universal Face Primer. They say the Revolution Pro Blur Stick Universal Face Primer leaves skin perfectly smooth and matte. Now, the complaints about this are that they are not matte. It's not matte. The second one is that it makes makeup slide off and that it feels greasy. So I will show you how that goes on and we will get into all of those details. The second product I looked for was a foundation. Now, the worst rated foundation over at Ulta happened to be also the worst rated foundation at Sephora. And it was the Benefit Hello Happy Velvet Powder Foundation. I already reviewed that and I also ended up returning it. Listening to your advice, I don't like to return products, but I did choose to return a few of the products that I got at Sephora, the ones that I felt were absolutely unusable. If you want to see my full review of that, of course, the Sephora version of this video is going to be linked down below. So what I did purchase, I was actually surprised that this was the lowest rated one. This is by Jane Iredale. This is the Glow Time Pro BB Cream, 3.3 stars, $52 for this product. So when I saw the price of this, I was like, I'm going to spend $52 on a product that everybody's saying sucks, but I'm going to get it anyway because science, because we have to know, because it's good information and valuable information. So what do they say about this? The brand says that it is a weightless, skin-loving BB cream with a radiant satin finish, SPF 25 broad spectrum sun protection and long-lasting transfer-resistant coverage. Just a friendly reminder, never count on your SPF in cosmetic products like this one because SPF does need to be reapplied, and when you apply it, you do need to put on a generous amount to get the SPF on the package. So this is, if you don't wear any sunscreen, this is definitely better than nothing, but definitely use another sunscreen. Complaints on this is that this is a reformulation, and the people that had purchased this before absolutely hate this version. They say it is not as much coverage, that it is sticky, and that the color is too orange/yellow. Next for concealer, this is the Tarte Sugar Rush Skin Treat Vegan Stick Concealer. Tarte says that this is medium to full coverage, and that when this launched, it sold out in 10 minutes, that it's ultra nourishing, and it is a natural matte concealer. I did get this in the shade Fair Light. The complaints on it are that it is not good coverage, that the color is too yellow, and that it is a very small product. For powder today, we're using one from NYX. This is the HD Studio Finishing Powder Translucent Setting Powder. NYX says that this is made with 100% pure silica minerals to help provide a luminous photo-ready makeup look. Now, if you have oily skin, having silica in your makeup products is fantastic because it is oil absorbing. The complaints about this is that there is a white finish. It is a white product, and that they got flashback when there were photos taken. I'm going to put some of the unfortunate photos posted on Ulta's website. I feel terrible for these poor people that they ended up looking like that because of this product. Very, very sad. For brows today, we are going into Ulta brand. This is the worst rated brow product on Ulta's website. This is the Ulta Fiber Brow Tint. They say hi to your most lifted, fluffiest brows yet. The Ulta Beauty Collection's Fiber Brow Tint provides a conditioning hold and lift. Bamboo fibers add natural looking volume for a full feathered look. The complaints on this is that the wand is absolutely freaking terrible, that the formula is too thick and stiff. sticky. There is the wand. And yeah, I definitely have thoughts about this. But one thing that they said about this is that it is used primarily and recommended to be used with another brow product of theirs. Now, this is the Ulta Instant Tint Brow Marker. It only has 1 star, but it only has 1 review. So I forgot to mention in the intro, I only took it as the lowest rated if it had at least 30 reviews. It had to have at least 30 ratings, which seemed to be good for Ulta's website. If I went up too much to like 40 or 50, then it would be much higher rated products. So I felt like at least for this website, 30 was a good marker. No pun intended. Let's talk about this marker. So this is, they say, for fuller tinted brows in seconds. It has a precise angled felt tip. It makes it easier to create realistic hair-like strokes for fuller looking brows. And the one complaint on this was that the blonde color was too dark compared to the photo. Fair enough, but I'm not blonde, so I can't really talk to that. This is the marker tip, and the first time I used it was actually a few minutes ago when I was putting on the makeup, so you'll see my reaction when I see this tip and kind of what I think about it. For eye primer, the worst rated eye primer, I am not surprised. It is the ColourPop Party Proof Long Wearing Eye Primer, 2.8 stars. I have reviewed that so much on my channel that I thought it would be weird to repurchase it because I did throw mine away because it is not a functional product. I threw mine away to repurchase it knowing how much I hate it. So I decided not to buy it. I completely agree with the complaints on Ulta's website that the formula is too thick, it doesn't spread easily, and eyeshadow goes on patchy. It is a very clumpy formula. It is freaking awful. So I was hoping that maybe the next second worst rated eye primer on Ulta's website, the Clinique All About Shadow Primer for Eyes, maybe it wasn't quite as bad because that one is rated at 3.7 stars, but it is a whopping $26 for an eye primer. So Clinique says that it has a neutral base that helps hold powder eyeshadow in place for up to 12 hours with less creasing. Complaints on this is that it's watery, that it doesn't make shadow last longer, and it doesn't cancel out discoloration like it says in the description. So we will see about that. For eyeshadow, it took me forever scrolling to find an eyeshadow palette that was low rated, and I was shocked by that. Knowing how many like Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes are over at Ulta, I was very, very surprised that it took that long for me to get there. Not as long as it took me to get to an eye primer, but it still took me a little while. So this is the MAC Eyeshadow x9, and it is the Amber x9 palette. They call it a well-edited palette featuring a color wave of 9 amber hues. The complaints on it are that it is very small, and you can see that the eyeshadows in here are like Coastal Scents size. They are very small. They're like dime sized, and that the color doesn't match the photo. I'm gonna go ahead and put the photo up on the screen right now, and you can tell me what you think, whether you think it matches or not. And then for lashes, 2 lash products that I used today. So the first one is the mascara. So this is the Tarte Maneater Waterproof Volumizing Mascara. Tarte says that it delivers the same eye-opening results as the OG formula, but now you can sweat, swim, or have a good cry. Now, this is the same complaint as the mascara from the Sephora review, that this waterproof mascara, they say, is not waterproof. The one that I did for Sephora was the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. That was definitely not waterproof. And the other complaint was that it smudges. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the application of this, and then we'll wash it off at the end of the night. We'll do a little like flicky water test to see whether it is actually waterproof. And then beyond that, we had to go the magnetic lash route again. I got these, which they're not in the box because they're on my eyes right now. This is the Ardell magnetic liner and lash set. They say that these are Ardell's best-selling demi wispies in the must-have magnetic liquid liner and lash kit. Innovation for easy application of magnetic lashes with a liquid eyeliner. So the complaints on this are that they don't stick well, that you can't trim them due to the magnet placement, and we do spend some time talking about that and the issues with that, and that the liner is very messy. We will get there. I'm honestly surprised it looks this good. Let me just say that. Few more products. As far as the face goes, the worst rated blush product, or actually it was a contour stick product that I was going to purchase. I decided not to get it. It's the Mega Glow dual-ended contour stick. And the reviews were so bad for this, mostly people claiming allergic reactions. It's just not worth it to me to irritate my skin for it. So I skipped that. So instead I went ahead and I purchased a ColourPop Cheek Dew. And then last week, ColourPop sent me some. So I'm not going to open this, and I'm going to return it so that someone else can purchase it now that I do have one that I can try. So this is the one that I ended up using. ColourPop says that they're lightweight, mistake-proof liquid blushes that blend into the skin like a dream with customizable coverage to create the perfect flush of dewy, healthy-looking color. The biggest complaint about these is that there's separation within the tube, and that because of the tube format, you can't mix it. There's also the complaint that it's not pigmented, and that when you apply it, it removes foundation. The highlighter I got is from Makeup Revolution. This is the Bright Light highlighter. The advertisement for this says, "Get ready, get set, glow." Introducing the Makeup Revolution Bright Light highlighters. That's it. That's all it says. And the complaints on this are that it's sticky, that it is quote unquote ugly specifically, and that it is very hard to blend. So we'll talk about that. And then finally on my lips today, which I'm already absolutely tortured by this product. This is, where is it? Where to go? Right here. I love this packaging. Let me tell you how beautiful this packaging is. It's gorgeous, but this, I can already tell, I hate this lipstick already. This is the Stila Stay All Day Matte Lip Color. They say that in color in one stroke, long-wearing, velvety matte lipstick with unexpected color impact on application. The complaints on this are that it is not long-lasting, drying, and crumbles on the lips. I will hold on as long as I can for you, but this, it's not as bad as the Lady Gaga one, the House Labs one from the Sephora video, but I'm already just not happy about this lip product. So, but I will suffer through. We'll see how it wears. We'll see if it does actually crumble. So now that I've introduced you to all of the products, let's go ahead and zoom in, and I will show you how all of these went on and give you some first impressions. I have some sad news for you. I have misplaced the bear ears. Somewhere between here and the laundry, and I don't know. It's like the missing sock. I don't know what happened to them. I have been using the Shrek ears instead. These were part of the Makeup Revolution Shrek collection that was sent to me in PR. So this is where we're at. I personally prefer the bear ears, but I can tell you I definitely do not hate these. They're a little Can you even take me seriously? That's the question. I'm hoping that you'll be able to, because you're going to be looking at these dumb things for the next 20 minutes or so. Let me go ahead and pull my mirror forward. Woo! Blinded by the light. Okay. All right. How's that? I have prepped my face with just moisturizer at this point, so let's go ahead and do the blur stick. With the Ulta products, some of them have directions for like a how-to tip. This one does not. This is the Makeup Revolution Blur Stick Universal Face Primer. What I'm going to do to test this is just like I did with the Sephora one. I am just going to put it on half of my face. The right-hand side is going to have the primer products and things like the extra stuff. The left-hand side won't. Now, upon initial application, this feels very lightweight. It really doesn't have a whole lot going on. I feel like I've got enough on at this point, and it definitely has no pigmentation at all. The Jane Iredale Glow Time Pro BB Cream. Directions on this say dispense 1 pump on the back of the hand. Bloop. That is not a lot of product. Dot on the cheeks, forehead, and nose, and then with a blending brush, sweep the Glow Time Pro from the center of your face outward and blend until the product is no longer visible on the skin. I have a feeling I'm going to need more than just 1 pump. That seems like a very little bit of product. But we're going to start there, and we're going to see how it goes. I mean, it's more than I thought it was going to be. I guess a little bit goes a long way. This is the Rose & Ben C42 brush that they sent me in PR. I have been absolutely loving this. So it says from the center of the face outward. Yeah, this does seem like it's enough, just the 1 pump. Interesting. It definitely has a little bit more of a yellow tint, but I am a little bit yellow in my undertones, so I don't hate it. Going on very smoothly. Sometimes it's hard for me to really tell, since I don't have a ton of discoloration, what the coverage is, so I just kind of use my lips as a guide. And to me, this looks kind of like a medium to full coverage. When I used this for the first time, I was surprised at how full coverage it was, and that was just 1 pump. So I would imagine this is gonna last a really long freaking time. I got this in color GT4, which is light to medium with neutral peach undertones, and I feel like that's what I got. Moving on to the Tarte Sugar Rush Skin Treat Concealer. Directions on this are to twist up the stick, dot the concealer directly onto the under eye, Just gonna do a little bit in the corner. Use fingertips to gently blend until desired coverage is achieved. And I can tell you that this is blending pretty nicely. It definitely feels like a powder. It felt really thick to go on, but blending it, like you can see how fast it's blending out. But it's not really traveling very far. It's hard, when you put on a concealer, you can really get it to swipe. That is not happening with this. So I'm definitely gonna need some more product over on this side here. And kind of bloop, bloop, bloop. That blended out very nicely. It's definitely different than other concealers that I've used in how it applies. And I can see people not using their fingertips and wondering what the heck is happening with this. And it's definitely a drier formula. So if you already have dry under eyes, this may be too powdery and too dry on you. I have a little tiny blemish right here. It's not very red yet. It is brand new today, but I'm still going to use a little bit of concealer on it. Should we do a little brightening? A little bit here. A little bit here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. A little bit here. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. Looks pretty. So far, so good. I am not hating anything so far. I just looked at the complaint on this, which is that it's not very good coverage. I can kind of see why that might be, especially if you're using like a beauty blender to blend this out. I feel like it would just disappear too quickly. But using the fingertip, it helps to keep the product on the skin. So it's definitely not the most full coverage. Absolutely. If you're trying to do major concealing, this is probably not going to be for you. This I am scared of. I have not used this yet. It's one of the only products I have not used yet. These white powders, man, I don't know why they even make them. Why? But we said we were going to try the worst rated products at Sephora, so we're going to do that. These dumbass ears. I'm going to use a fluffier brush. This one is from Laura Lee, Los Angeles. It's the L32 brush. Added a little bit into here, and I'm using this one specifically because it's more of a stippling brush, so I can get as little product on my face as possible. Because I definitely don't want to overdo it. It's not that bad. I thought it was going to be worse. Someone with a deeper skin tone may have a different experience though. And it seems to be setting it pretty nicely. I don't hate it as much as I thought I would. Let me see if I can get some just in a swatch. So there it is at full strength. Not really. I mean, it's really not as white as some of the ones I've tried before. I've tried some really bad ones before that were just like white. This one's not that bad. At least now, but I don't know as far as flashback, and I will be honest with you, I don't have a flash camera anymore. I don't have one. I don't own one. Do you own a flash camera? But white finish, I'm not really seeing that. Let's go into brows. So really the only reason why I bought this because it didn't have a lot of reviews is it's supposed to go with the other product. And I forgot, I have not used the pencil. I've only used the gel. I have not used this one yet. So we will see how it goes. Oh, I was expecting it to be a 3-pointed guy, but it's not. It's a flat guy. That's interesting. Prior to use, shake pen well with the cap on. Store with the brush tip facing downward. Apply product to brows in short hair-like strokes. Seal brows into place with the Ulta Beauty Collection Brow Shaping Gel for a soft hold. We'll do that. Whoa, that is pigmented. I feel like I need a spoolie already before it dries because that's really intense. Okay, all right. I'm not hating this. It definitely doesn't make hair-like strokes. It's too thick for hair. But it filled. It definitely filled. You just got to be really careful with it. I don't see how this is a hair-like stroke. It's a marker. It's clearly a marker. But if you brush it fast enough, it definitely blends in. I'm definitely going back and forth more than I would with some other brow products. It's not a fast process. Pleasantly surprised. Let's go into the brow gel. I do already have opinions about this. It looks a lacadis. It's all bent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on its side, which is what I'm probably supposed to do, and just kind of brush it up. Now the wand is very bendy. I wish it was a little more stiff. That would make it a little easier to use. But I don't hate that. I don't hate it. I forgot to read the directions before before I started using it, but it just says to do what I just did, which is apply it to the brows in short light strokes to fill and set. So let's do that on this side. Bloop. I do not feel secure in this wand because it feels flimsy. But it's working. I think they look okay. They look a little messy. Like right there, it looks kind of messy. And that's due to the brow gel because this thing is just too big. Maybe if I spoolie a little bit with a dry spoolie. Kind of spoolie it out a little bit. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it different? Like something you've never seen before? Like I said in the intro, I threw away my ColourPop eye primer, so we won't be using that today. I did get the Clinique one. Apparently this is watery, and it does not cancel out any kind of discoloration, which some eye primers just don't do. Here is the wand on it. It is a very round doe foot. So I'm just gonna kind of dot that on there. I mean, I feel like it canceled out a little discoloration, at least on my skin tone. I feel like it did pretty good. Look at the difference. It did fine. It definitely feels powdery on the skin. I don't know. Maybe they changed the formula since people reviewed it, but I definitely wouldn't call this watery in any way. It has like a powdery feel once it starts drying down. My complaint would be that it looks a little bit chunky. So we'll leave that, like I said, primer side. We'll leave that with primer because I want to make sure that the eyeshadow has a chance to be on both. On the other side, we're going to go ahead and put on the Milani eye primer. In hindsight, I probably should have put on another face primer on the side that was similar to this blur primer, but just from a different brand to compare, but I'm not going to take all this off and start over. I do not have time for that in my life. I'm sorry. But I do often not wear primer with my foundation. So that'll be the test. Is it better than no primer at all? Or, because then you can just save your money altogether if you have normal skin like I do. So let us go into this eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to do a basic eye look with this. So let's throw on some music while I get that on.
For me, isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me, wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with our bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top.
All right, one thing I just noticed as I was doing my under eyes is look how wrinkly my under eyes look. My under eyes look atrocious. Oh my gosh, you can see every single line. Thankfully, Ulta was kind enough to send over one of those little gift bags they give you when you buy a lot of shit over there, and I got a sponge. So therefore, I'm going to use this Ulta Beauty sponge that I just got, and I'm going to pat this out to see if I can save this concealer because that looked like complete doo-doo. See, look at the difference. Like blending that out made such a huge difference. That was the concealer. Oh my goodness, that looked awful. I mean, I still have my fine lines, but it doesn't look quite as bad as it did a second ago. But also that might not be 100% the concealer. That could also be the powder on top. Or on this side, it could be the primer. I did feel like I owed this to you in that last time I got the magnetic liner without magnetic lashes. So this time we are going to do magnetic liner with magnetic lashes. I obviously have not used these yet and I am quite nervous. I will admit that to you. And looking at these, I see what people are saying as far as the magnets. So in order to trim these, you would have to trim a magnet off. I'm going to put in arrows because I don't have a third hand, but if you look at the side that's by my thumb, so there's a magnet over there. But if I trim the lash where I would normally trim a demi-wispy, then there's a magnet right there too. So I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna do that. Oh no, there isn't. I would have to trim it all the way to there I would have to trim off 2 of those long pieces in order to get to another magnet. So that is not going to be good. So we're just going to have to put this on as a full lash without trimming it, which I've never done with Debbie Wispies before. I always trim off just like one section. So we will see what happens. Let us make sure we follow the directions on this one because 2-step application. Apply 2 coats of magnetic liquid liner on the upper lash line. Place magnetic lashes on liquid liner while liner is still semi-wet and gently press down to secure. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do, ooh, there's a lot of product on there. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I meant to put on the mascara. Damn it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one coat. Then we'll put on the mascara because I did buy a mascara. And then we'll put on the second coat. I guess this is to make sure there's enough magnetic material on the eye because this is definitely opaque. That is kind of messy. Yeah, the brush has an issue and it doesn't have a fine point. So it's hard to get it to make like a stiff line. I'm going to just try to blend it out a little bit with this brush. Oop. I'll get that off in a second. Just to try to even it out a little bit so it doesn't look so messy. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So let's hold off on that for a second. Let that dry down and then let's do the mascara. So this is the Tarte Maneater Waterproof Volumizing Mascara. You apply it in a zigzag motion, pulling through to the tip, layer on for maximum drama. Go on, sweat, swim, cry. Promise it won't budge. We'll take it off at the end of the night. We'll splash some water on it and see if we do get a huge mess. I did use this once before I started filming and I was not super impressed with the length and volume, but we'll see now that it's been open for a week or so whether it has gotten any better. Because sometimes a mascara, when you leave it open for a little bit, not leave it open, but once you've opened it and exposed it to air, sometimes it gets a little bit better. Yeah, this mascara kind of sucks. I'm pretty sure some of y'all really like the original Maneater mascara. I remember not liking it at all. That again, it was just very, bland. Not a lot of volume. Like Lights, Camera, Lashes is definitely my favorite Tarte mascara. This just seems really dry. Like, I don't know if you can see on the wand, it just seems dry. I mean, I'm definitely getting some length and some volume, but it's just not, I think it's better than the last time I used it, but not by a ton. Just a really dry formula. So now let us put on the second coat, and while it's still slightly wet, we're supposed to try to adhere the lashes. Try to wing it up a little bit. Just a baby wing. Still feels a little bit wet. So let's jump in and try to apply this. I definitely feel the magnets trying to hold on to the liner. Like I can feel the pull of it. Okay. All right, they're on. Oh, they're off. They're on. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay. Let's try the other one. Ooh, I hope it hasn't dried too much. No, I think it's gonna go on. Oh, I don't know. This outer corner. These are definitely too long. Definitely. Like, I feel like Bambi. Like, I need to trim them. Okay, I don't think this is gonna be a fair review unless I trim it because there just isn't enough room. So I'm gonna do that. But then, do I have to apply another layer of the magnetic liner? We will see. So I'm gonna trim up to the second magnet, which is more than I normally would. It's quite a lot, but it just doesn't look right. And I don't think it's going to be fair because I think that it's going to fall off. So what I would recommend if I were working for Ardell is to put a magnet on, you see where it's a little bit black there? I would put another magnet on the second little big bumpy of lash there. I would put another magnet there so that way I could just trim off one of them instead of 2. But you can see the difference. It looks so much better with less lashes because it actually fits my eye. So let me go ahead and pull this one off. They definitely come off really easily. And let's trim this side too, unfortunately. This one I feel like you have to trim more. Do I have to trim more? I hope not. Feels like a lot. Feels like I'm trimming a lot. Don't like it. It definitely still feels sticky. Yeah, look, the magnets were at a different spot, so I had to trim more of one side. Hold on, let me see if I can get them on my hand. Oh, okay, hold on. We're going to get this. I definitely had to trim more off one side to get to the magnet than the other side. I don't know, can you see that? Like the difference between the two? that this one has more lash that I had to trim off. I mean, it's slight. I don't think anybody's going to notice it but me, but they really need to make sure that their lashes, the magnets are evenly spread apart. Like, what is even happening here? Aren't they like lash professionals? Like, what is even happening? But I don't feel like I need to apply more liner for them to stay. But what I'm going to do, to be fair to it, is if I feel like my lashes are falling off, I'm going to come back down and I'll put more liner on and apply them when they're wet, like the directions had said. The Cheek Dew Hydrating Serum Blush. It says for application, I can do sponge brush or fingertips. I have a feeling that the separation issue is going to be an issue more for people that it's been sitting around for a while. And mine is pretty freaking new, so I don't see any problem in it. Let me check the one that I bought. Hold on. I'm not going to open it, obviously, because I want to be able to return it, but I don't see any separation here either. I mean, there's a little bit of product there that's in the clear part. So that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye out for as this ages. And maybe the people that got them, they just got older ones that have been sitting around for a while. I don't know. So let's see if it removes my base makeup. I'm going to dot that baby on. Boop, 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 boop. I'm not really seeing it remove anything. I think it looks really pretty, actually. I don't know. Do you see it removing my foundation? I don't really see that. Not really. Put a little tiny bit more right here. I think it looks pretty. I don't know. Do the other side. We'll see when we get into natural light what it looks like. But I think it looks good. Let's talk about pigmentation, though. I can definitely see where people will complain about too light of a pigmentation. Makeup Revolution highlighter. I am quite nervous about this. We will see what happens. Let's crank this baby up. This is pretty normal for it to take a little while for the product to come out on the first application, because I forgot to use this one too. Doesn't usually take this long, though. Any year now. Got nothing. Am I turning it the wrong way? No, it doesn't turn the other way. Oh, I'm starting to see it change color a little bit. Not too much left. Okay, there we go. It's coming out a little bit. Okay, all right. And we have product. That is it swatched on my hand. Use the sponge applicator to dab onto the tops of cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, above the brow bone, or under Cupid's bow to illuminate the high points of the skin. Boop, boop, boop. Am I illuminated? I can't really see it. It's kind of powdery. It definitely doesn't feel wet at all. I don't feel any stickiness. People said that it's ugly and hard to blend. Not really seeing that. I definitely don't feel stickiness. If I were going to have a complaint, it would be that it's not very pigmented and like I can't really see too much happening. Like it's very, very subtle. And definitely no problems blending it. I think it looks fine. I do. I think it looks fine. Man, I am just hard disagreeing with all of these today. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised. All right, last up, we have the Stila Stay All Day Matte Lip Color. I'm a little nervous about this. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a little bit of lip balm real quick, just to like give my crusty lips as much help as possible. This was sent to me by Kaleidos, and just to like give them a little bit of love. I'm going to let this sit on my lips for like 5 minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to take it off and just kind of gently blot it. Okay, I don't feel the product on there anymore. I just felt like my lips were so crusty, it wasn't going to be the lipstick's fault if it ended up being crusty. Whoa, it's already crumbling. Maybe I pressed it too hard, because it wasn't really showing up. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to blend out what I already have on there. Yeah, this is kind of a nightmare, the way that it feels. It's already dried down. It's not budging anymore. All right, that's it. We're done. We're done. That's it. But you can see it's definitely accentuating dry on my lips. But that might just be my crusty lips. I don't really feel like my lips needed exfoliation. Like I don't feel like dry patches. It's more just that they're just like just in general kind of dry right now. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out and see how it looks like from a distance. From a distance. All right, stop. We're back. It is currently 2:26, so I will be back at the end of the night, probably around 10:30 or so. Tonight is my ukulele play along night with my friends, and once they leave, because the person that usually hosts is out of town, but once they leave, I will be back after I'm done strumming away. And I will be back at the end of the night to show you how all of this wore, and we'll test the waterproof mascara. But before we do that, we need to step outside. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, it is a beautiful day here in Maryland. Oh my goodness, it's been so cold. It's nice to come out here without a jacket on. It's very nice. So let me go ahead and let's get in the sunlight. So you can see these are my son's exercise rings that he hasn't used in a minute, but they're fun. All right, anyway, okay. So let's look at the foundation. I mean, it is definitely not as full coverage. My lips look terrible. They feel terrible. I don't know if this is gonna last to my friends coming over because it's kind of embarrassing already. Like, it just looks so dry. Like, ugh, it looks terrible, but I'll wear it a little bit longer for science. The foundation, you can see my freckles like a lot. So I would say this is like a medium coverage at most foundation. It's not settling into my fine lines yet. My under eyes still don't look fabulous, but they don't look as bad as they did downstairs, I don't think. But mostly I just wanted you to see how this looks in natural light. So there's the eyeshadow. I feel like it's looking pretty good. I think I still have a little bit of eyeliner there. The lashes are staying on. I honestly think part of the problem with them staying on is letting them stay longer than whoever's actual eyelid. Like if it's too long for your eyelid, of course it's gonna pop off. So I think trimming them down was the only way these were going to work, even though I do feel like they're shorter than what I would normally like. So that's what we're dealing with. And I will be back after my friends leave after ukulele tonight. So the sun will be down in just a second for you. Long time for me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, unexpected check-in. It is currently 6:43. My friends are gonna be here in about 15 minutes. Got the wine glasses ready. Yes. And I wanted to let you know that I'm giving up on the lipstick. So I just finished dinner. To be fair, I just finished dinner. It was a Home Chef thing that I remade. If you don't know, I get Home Chef and I freaking love it. Hashtag not sponsored. But it's like a bacon cheddar pork meatloaf with barbecue sauce. I didn't wipe my mouth, but of course there was some oil there that I think did break up some of this, which is normal for a lipstick, a matte lipstick even. Like it's gonna break down. But I'm not seeing any crumbling like people are talking about, like I did with the House Labs one. No crumbling at all. It's just so dry. It's so uncomfortable, and I could reapply it, or I could just put on a lip balm and give up. So I'm sorry, friend. I'm giving up. I'm putting on a lip balm. I'm going to be comfortable, but we'll check on, how it looks later. What happens when you pair it with a balm. Of course, I'm going to kill the wear time most likely, but it is what it is. Now you can see what happens after about 4 hours. So I think most people would probably reapply at this point. But anyway, that being said, I just wanted to show you that and kind of give you a little check-in on the look and also show you home lighting, how everything looks. And yeah, that's all I got for you right now. I will be back in another second. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Day is done. I had such a fantastic day hanging out with my friends. We had a blast. We just finished playing ukulele. They just headed out, and I just can't stop singing "Take That Money, Watch It Burn" because that's one of the songs we play on ukulele, and we just had so much fun. So anyway, it is time to stop thinking about that and start thinking about makeup. So what is going on with my face? How did this makeup wear? Let's take a closer look. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so we can look at everything that's happening. All right, so what I'm noticing as far as the foundation, remember I have primer on this side, no primer on this side. And one thing that I think it's important to mention to you is that this side has been exposed to more sun because of driving and not wearing sunscreen in my younger days. So we can't really take like seeing more freckles on this side very seriously. Let me turn this off for a second. So let's look at it without the light. Okay. Do we notice anything different about the primer side? Now, when I'm looking in my mirror, which is a magnification mirror, I notice that this side, it's settling into my pores more, the foundation, than on this side. And that's the primer side, which is not a good thing at all. As far as concealer goes, they both look pretty much the same. Now, as far as the eyes and the eye primer, I feel like both sides look pretty much the same. I just noticed I do have some creasing in this wrinkle right there, definitely some creasing. I hadn't patted that one out, but overall, I don't think this foundation looks very good. Do I have wrinkles here? Foundation wrinkled in my wrinkles here? A little bit, definitely. But remember, it also could be the powder. Overall, though, I don't think that my base looks very good. I would also say, as far as the base go, that I don't see any highlighter. I don't see any blush. Maybe a little bit more on the non-primer side, maybe a tiny bit, but the blush is pretty much gone. I would say what fared the best was the eye makeup. So the brows still look the same. The lashes stayed on. The eyeshadow looks good. I do have some smudging down here in the lower lash line. That's relatively typical for me no matter what eyeshadow I wear. So I don't really hold it against it when my eyeshadow is a little bit smudged here. Lips, of course, like I talked about earlier, I put a balm on, but I can't really say this wear is normal. Now what I would love to do is take you into my bathroom and we're going to take the makeup off and see how removal is, and then I will give you my final thoughts. All right, the Shrek ears are going back on. I really hope that I find my bear ears because these are so weird. I like them, but I kind of would rather wear these on my own rather than on camera because it is slightly embarrassing. I will admit, as a full-grown woman wearing these, it's a little embarrassing. But anyway, we are breaking into my trusty Clinique Take the Day Off. And really what I want to see is I'm going to take off the lashes. Okay, these remove very easily, but I'm telling you, they did stay on all day. They really genuinely did. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but I'm curious to see how hard this eyeliner is going to be to remove, and also the mascara with the waterproofness. So the first thing I want to do that I didn't do in the last video that I really want to do right now is I want to splash my face with some water and see if the mascara starts running. You all know how much I love splashing my face, so we're gonna just go. Okay, let me do it again. Hold on. I don't think that was enough. Or pretend like I'm crying or it's raining or something. Okay, do we have any running? Not so far. Let me just kind of like rub my eyes a little bit. Water resistant, I don't see, well, maybe a little bit. Now, look, see, now it's going. Just a little bit. I feel like it was a little water resistant, but I wouldn't say that this is waterproof. I'm just gonna go ahead and splash some water on my face and see what happens. Okay, I splashed, but I didn't rub. And yes, or do I look the same? I feel like I look the same. So I'm gonna take this towel and I'm gonna wipe off the stuff that's under my under eye. Let me now splash my face with water because I don't feel like we have mascara running. Let me splash. And let's see if it runs. Okay, splash, no rub. Okay, I splashed and I didn't rub. And it's not oozing, but I bet you as soon as I touch it, it's gonna start going. Yeah, it's gonna start going. So it is water resistant, but I wouldn't say it's waterproof. All right, now the test of the eyeliner. So I'm going to take some of this Clinique Take the Day Off, and I am going to try to take my day off and see how hard this eyeliner is to remove. Because when we did the Glamnetic one, it was really, really hard to remove. I think I had to go in with the Clinique Take the Day Off, like, I don't know, how many times do we have to go in? Like 3 times? It was a lot. Oh, it feels so good to rub my face. Do you ever just rub your face a little extra long because it just feels so good? What do we got going on here? All right. Okay, we still have a mess. Is what we have going on. My contacts have seen better days. I probably should have taken my contacts out before I did this. Oh well, too late now. Task number 2. Oh. Let's see what we got. I haven't even looked yet. Okay, we still have a mess. But it's coming off mostly. It's mostly gone. It's better than it was. I think it's better than the Glamnetic, but not by a ton. We're gonna go in one more time. This should be the last time we have to go in. With Clinique Take the Day Off, you don't really need to second cleanse. It's so beautiful. It's such a wonderful product. Of course, you can double cleanse if you want to, but I don't think it's 100% necessary with this product. All right, we've done it. We have removed the eyeliner, so it was difficult to remove. Other than that, I didn't really see anything different between the sides. It was really just the eyeliner, and I kind of expected it. All right, let's go back over to the makeup space. Whee! Okay, I feel like I got end of the night face. I don't know what that means, but I think it's applicable. So let's go through each product, and I'm going to give you my final full review of each product based on this review, and most of them I've tried before today. So the blur stick, one thing that I can't speak to on this as far as it not being matte. Let me just kind of show you. I'll put it here. And it's like, I don't have oily skin. So like, to me, it didn't really do anything. Honestly, like I was saying when I was putting it on, you can't really feel a lot of product going onto the skin. Like it doesn't feel like much. Like it's not applying correctly. There's definitely something going on with this, and I don't think that I like it. As far as making my makeup slide off, I did not have that problem. I also don't feel that it feels greasy at all. It feels like almost like there's nothing there. But what I did have happen to this that wasn't good, that's not on their complaint list that I saw, was the settling into the pores that I saw more prominent on my primer side versus the non-primer side. So this is going to be a complete just not good. I don't feel like it made my makeup better in any way. It almost feels like there's nothing going on. There is something going on, but it's just not. This is a no, absolutely not. So for the foundation, this is the first time I've actually followed the directions of only using one pump of foundation. Every other time I've used more than that, and I've noticed much more coverage than I saw today. One of the biggest complaints about this is that the old formula was much more full coverage. So I personally feel like you just need to use more pumps to get more full coverage to kind of build it up. At least that's what happened on my skin, but I didn't try the original one, so I don't really have that basis for comparison like the Jane Iredale fans out there that loved this product before. I definitely didn't find this to be sticky. I'm going to put the right after application shot and the at the end of the day shot on the screen right now, and you'll have to tell me whether you think that it looks like it's oxidized, that it's gotten more yellow. I feel like I got the shade that I ordered, which is like a peachy yellow tone, so I can't really blame it on that. Maybe it's the shade that people chose, but overall, I am enjoying this foundation. Is it the best foundation ever? No. Do I think that it's worth the $52? Absolutely not. But will I keep using it? Yeah, I'll definitely keep using it. I do think that it looks pretty, especially not on this primer side. And using a little bit more, I did enjoy that. With the Tarte Sugar Rush Concealer, not good coverage, totally agree. Color is too yellow. I didn't notice that on my skin tone with this particular shade. It is small. It does seem like it's small. Let me kind of roll it all the way up so you can see how much product you get. I've used this, I think, twice before I filmed, so it really isn't a ton of product, and especially if you want coverage, you're going to need to use quite a bit of it. It is very stiff to go on. It's a very thick kind of formula to go on, but it doesn't go very far. You know, I feel like you need to really use a lot of it, and then it creased up really bad. So yeah, definitely not my favorite concealer, but not really for the reasons that it says on there. There's so many wonderful concealers out there, and this just definitely isn't one of them. I don't really like this formula a whole lot unless you're looking for something that's very light coverage and you don't have creasing under your eyes, then maybe you'll like it. The translucent setting powder, I'm going to have to use this more. I think the verdict's still out on this. I am pleasantly surprised that it doesn't leave a super white cast upon application. Again, I can't speak to the flashback piece of it because I don't have a camera with a flash, but as far as it being white on my skin, I personally didn't see that. But like I said, when I was putting it on, maybe people of different skin tones would be able to see that more than I can. I do think because it is silica based, you're gonna like this more if you have oily skin. Because I have normal skin, that doesn't really apply to me. So in hindsight, would like I repurchase this? No, I don't think I really need this, but do I think it's bad? Not really. It's just kind of okay. All right, the brow stuff. Okay, I'm kind of like mixed on this because I really do think the brow isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I kind of freaked out because this is such a big a big wand, and I do really like smaller wands, but if you turn it to the side and you kind of focus going sideways instead of traditionally, I like to go this way, but going this way, it does work a little bit better and I don't hate it. I do understand though that the formula is too thick and sticky. It is kind of messy if it gets out of your brows, which is not good. This is a little better than okay. It's better than I thought it was going to be. Because the other thing is that the wand is, because it's so flimsy, it's kind of hard to control. So that color being on something that's hard to control kind of can lead to a mess pretty quickly. But I don't hate it. Will I buy it again? No. Will I probably use it? Yeah, I might use it. I may pick it up and use it, but not on a time when I'm pressed for time, because if I need to redo my brows, I may need to redo my brows. So, I just need to choose wisely when I choose to use that. As far as the brow pen, I think the big fail of this pen is the tip, in that it's not a fine point. Even turned to the side where I think you're supposed to get the fine point from there, it's not fine enough. It still kind of separates out and gets mushy. So there's no way you're drawing individual brow hairs with this. It isn't going to happen. It's too smooshy of a tip. So if you're okay with drawing it in and spooling it out and drawing it in and spooling it out until you get the way you like it, then yeah, go for it. I feel like it's too much work for too little payoff. I mean, eventually it's fine, but yeah, no, not my favorite either. The Maneater mascara, again, it's not good, but again, not necessarily for the reasons that it says. Now, one thing that's important to note is that I don't usually have smudging problems with mascaras, so that's not going to be something that I can personally test, but I don't think that this has enough length and volume for me personally. I don't think that it's a great mascara. It's too dry. You just can't get enough product on the wand. It just doesn't work. As far as the waterproofness, of course, like I showed you, it's not waterproof, but it is kind of water resistant. It's definitely better than the Milk Makeup one. But my personal gripe with it is more with the actual formula and how it makes my lashes look. It's kind of crappy, but maybe as it stays open a little longer, maybe it'll get a little bit more length and volume. We'll just have to wait and see. But as far as how dry the formula is, I don't really have high hopes for it getting any better. The Ardell magnetic lashes. I will tell you, I do not hate these as much as I thought I would. And I think what made these for me was sucking it up and trimming them shorter than I normally would, because that made them stay on better. And I think that is the key with this. That was one of the major complaints with it, is that they don't stick on well and that you couldn't trim them. The trimming of it is a problem. Ardell needs to put a magnet on each larger clump of lash. If Ardell put more magnets on, you'd have more options for trimming, and that would have been better for me. Also, the trimming, the magnet placement didn't match. Like if you look here, I figured out how to put them together. They're different sizes. I had to cut the one that's over here is longer. Do you see that? It's really small, so it's hard to see. Because of the magnet placement, I literally couldn't make them the same length because I would have had to cut off another magnet, which would have made them even more not the same length and even shorter, and that really sucks. The other thing I don't like is, of course, that the eyeliner is more difficult to remove, which leads to more scrubbing, which I personally don't like. But I will say that there is a positive to this, and the positive is that if you use a lot of false lashes, you know that they get goopy. You have to keep picking the lash glue off, and eventually you might pick enough that you pull off lash hairs, and then you got to throw them away, and then you just can't use them anymore. There's different ways to remove lash glue, but it's kind of annoying. With magnetic lashes, you don't have to worry about that. Your lashes will last for freaking ever because you're not getting anything on them. You're just sticking them, and they did, when they were shorter, stay all day. So I do see a benefit to these, and I will continue to use them, but they definitely could use some improvement. The ColourPop Cheek Dew Blush. I do think this is one of the weaker things in ColourPop's line. I feel like the lasting power thing was a killer. Now, I did not have any problem with it removing this particular foundation, but I do need to play with it just a little bit more. I'd be curious to know whether it removes foundation for you. I would really love if this lived up to the claim of being more buildable. I didn't really see that it's super buildable. It kind of only goes to a certain point. So for me, I wouldn't purchase these. Now that I have it, I will probably use it, but this is definitely not something I would buy more of. The Makeup Revolution highlighter was freaking weird. The application was very light. Lasting power was atrocious. It's not a good product. I didn't find it to be sticky, ugly, or hard to blend, but I still don't like it. And my least favorite product of the day from a brand you know that I'm always rooting for, Stila. This Stay All Day matte lip color is horrible. The application was not pretty. It never looked pretty. It never looked nice. I feel like if you're going to go for a matte lipstick like this, go for the Pat McGrath Matte Trance, go for the Beauty. Those are my two favorite matte lipsticks. They look beautiful. They have long lasting power. They don't feel like crap on the lips. I feel like this matches with traditional liquid lipsticks when they were first created, that were dry as hell and you just suffered through because you wanted the lasting power. And I do feel like this had decent lasting power, and if I was better able to tolerate it, I think that it probably would have lasted longer, but I do think I was probably messing with my lips a little bit too much with this on because it was just really uncomfortable. So this is definitely a no, my least favorite product probably of the day. The Clinique eyeshadow primer, all I can say is it works just as good as the Milani. Because it was this exact same thing for me. I feel like it was the same as the Milani, but the price on this is $26. So that's going to be a hard no, because there's no reason for it. There is no reason to get this if the Milani is just as good. The MAC eyeshadow palette, yeah, it's small. It's definitely small, but I feel like the application was really pretty and I really enjoyed using this. I'm going to continue using it. Kind of a boring color story, but you know what? Sometimes you just want a boring palette. Sometimes you just want something easy that's no thought you could just throw on your face. And that's what this palette was. This is a nice palette. I really like it. Is it worth $34? Probably not, but I'm going to keep using it. I like it. I enjoy it. And if you want a MAC eyeshadow, I don't not recommend it. So in order, let us count from the worst product all the way to the best product. The worst product I tried today is the Stila Stay All Day lipstick. Absolutely awful. Followed by the Revolution Pro Blur Stick. The Revolution Bright Light Highlighter. The Maneater Waterproof Mascara by Tarte. The ColourPop Cheek Dew. Then followed by the Tarte Skin Treat by Sugar Rush. Moving into the products that are not terrible, but I kind of like them. They're just kind of okay. The NYX HD powder, the Ulta Beauty brow pen, and the Clinique eye primer. Now the ones that I like but I don't love, the Ulta Beauty brow gel, the Jane Iredale Glow Time Prime, and the Ardell magnetic lashes. And the only thing that I really liked out of these is the MAC eyeshadow palette. I got joy from this, and this is really the only thing that truly gave me joy from this video, but it is the worst rated products at Ulta, so what did I freaking expect? And with that being said, my friend, it is now your turn in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, also noted in the comment section down below. I would love to know your thoughts on any of these products, how they worked on me, or if you've tried them, how have they worked on you? Because I just have one face and one opinion, and I would love to learn from you. How do these products work for you? If you've tried them, leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and entertaining and enjoyable, and my voice is cracking, so I need to go to bed. If you would like to hang out just a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a couple videos for you right over here to watch, including the Sephora video. I'm going to put that down there for you. YouTube's going to pick the top one for you, but if you do need to go, I get it. I'm going to bed. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye! Editing this tomorrow, not tonight.